Hey folks, Martin here, and welcome once again to the channel. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing a game called Rondeli. I wonder if you can see that, Rondeli, which is actually a pretty clever name because the game is a rondel mechanism-based game, and the theme is you are running a restaurant, a deli, and you have to feed your hungry customers with the food that they want to eat. And you have to do that before there are too many customers and you get overwhelmed, and then you lose the game because you're not able to keep up with the customer demands. That's basically the setup of this game, which is essentially like I said, a rondel-based, mancala-based action efficiency optimization tiny Euro game. That's kind of like how I understand or wrap my head around it. But enough talking about me. Let's go down to the table and let me show you what it looks like here. So this is Rondeli. This game is a contestant or an entry in the 2023 Solitaire Print and Play contest, which is going on right now as we record this video on Board Game Geek. It is designed by someone who is identified as Zorokrox. That's their handle on Board Game Geek. And that's all the information we have about the game designer. This game is still in prototype form. In fact, I have to tell you that what you're seeing on my table here, this full color version, I was actually the one who made this full color version and did the graphic design and all that stuff. So the way the cards look, the fronts and the backs, the graphics, the typography choices, this logo, all of this stuff, I actually added it because I like to have graphically pleasing games on my table, and so I just, took the extra effort to make a kind of full color, full art version just so that I could play test it. I know it's pretty extra, but that is how I felt about it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get Rondeli set up. So what are the components that we're going to need here? We're going to need, first of all, these tracking cubes, 3 of them, and we're going to place them on the one spot here on these 3 ingredient tracks. So we've got meat ingredient, we've got a condiment ingredient, and we've got some greens, some vegetables ingredient here. And this is going to come into play when we start playing the game. Now, we also need this rondel, which basically tells you what actions you're going to be able to do every round. And I won't go in and explain everything here, but there are 5 basic actions you can do. There's unload, feed, prepare, cook, and then check for hungry customers. And what the action actually is actually written on this game board, so that's pretty nice and handy. It means that you don't really have to consult the rules so frequently, because basically the actions that you're going to be doing and how to perform them are written on the game board, which I like. I like that piece of game design. And you're going to need 3 blue tokens, 3 green tokens, and 3 red tokens. Now I don't happen to have red here, so we're going to be using this kind of fuchsia pink, whatever this color is. I think it's fuchsia. That's going to be standing in for red. Now let's go ahead and get this board set up here. Basically what it says is randomly place the 9 colored tokens onto the rondel on the game board, place 1 on the hungry customer space, and then stack 2 on each of the other spaces. Okay, so let's do this randomly now. We're going to grab 1, we're going to stack it on hungry customers, and then 2 are going to be stacked on each of the other spaces. All right, so if you're going to be building this print and play game for yourself, you need tokens that are able to stack on each other, like these discs that I got from AliExpress. They're tiny discs made of wood, but they are sufficient for this purpose. And then we need to shuffle this deck of cards, which I've already done, and then draw 3 to form your hand and tuck 3 under the 3 slots of the customer row so that only the customer section is showing. Okay, so let me show what that is. First of all, here are my 3 starting cards. We'll be starting with some fruit salad, a barbecue sandwich, and a roast beef sandwich. Sounds delicious. And then I'll set this off to the side for right now. And then we're going to take 3 customers. And the section of the card which shows you what the customer wants is actually this section at the bottom of each card. So I'll be sliding these underneath the board here. So this first customer wants a sandwich. This second customer wants a sandwich. And then this third customer wants a salad. Okay, so we've got those customers in place. And as you can see here, there's a nice little thematic touch that the more customer cards you have here in the slots on the bottom, the angrier they are. These little faces here show you that they're angry. There's actually no gameplay effect here, like you don't have to serve the angrier customers first or anything like that. At this point, we are all set up to go. So that's it. That's really all that has to be set up here. And we have our starting hand. So let me just go ahead and push this entire thing a little bit higher up so that we're going to have space down here in this area to play our cards to our play area. And then we'll put this this deck of cards over here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and play the game. Basically, there are three phases to each round of the game. Number one is you check for hungry customers. You take a look at this space here, check how many tokens there are here. If there are at least 5, then you must select this space to take tokens from. Right now we've only got 1, so we don't have to mandatorily take the tokens from this space. So the next step or the next phase is we need to pick up and place all the tokens from one space. So we choose one of the 5 action spaces on the rondel, and then we're going to pick up the tokens that are on there, and then we are going to be placing them on top of the stacks that succeeded in a clockwise manner until you get to the end. So for example, if I wanted to do an unload action, if I wanted to take this prepare action, I'll take these 2 tokens that are here and unload. I would go 1, 2, so that the last token that I place ends in the spot that I want to take my action on. So I hope that makes sense. Let me go ahead and rewind that. So basically, the way that you want to take actions is you're actually planning. You're planning ahead, a step or 2 ahead, to the action that you want to be able to take. And the numbers of tokens in each stack are going to kind of help or hinder you in your quest to be able to do those actions. Okay, and I know that doesn't make a lot of sense right now, but it'll hopefully make more sense as I start playing. The last phase in every round of the game is you then activate the action of the space that you ended on. Okay, and then you keep on playing until either you deplete the entire draw deck of cards here, or there are more than 5 customers in the customer row. If you ever have more than 5 customers in the customer row, that means you lose the game. Like I said earlier, you are overwhelmed. You can't keep up with the number of customers, and so that's basically at the end of the game. Okay, I think that's enough overview, and now let's start actually playing the game, doing a game demo. I don't know exactly how far we will get in this game demo, but let's just see. So first things first, first thing we want to do is check our hungry customer space. Are there 5 tokens there? There are not, so we don't have to deal with that right now. So now we're going to move and we're going to actually do an action. We're going to pick up all the tokens from one space, and we're going to move them and hopefully end on the space where we want to do an action. So we obviously want to focus on feeding these customers, right? So let's take a look. This customer here wants a salad, and these 2 want sandwiches. So what have we got here? Well, here in our hand, we do actually have 2 sandwiches and a salad. So it seems that we have the right cards to be able to feed some of our customers. But you'll notice that they have ingredients requirements, right? So the way that we do this is we first have to prepare. Discard a card from your hand to gain ingredients, plus 1 card if used by a red token. Now, let me just fix that stack here. Stay on there. So I can't just play a card from my hand and feed a customer. I first have to cook it. So there's a cook action over here. Play ingredients to play a card from your hand, and then you get a +1 card if used by a blue token. So for instance, let's say I want to feed this customer here. They're looking for a sandwich. Let's say that I want to feed them this roast beef sandwich. I have to, first of all, play this card from my hand. Okay, and I have to discard a meat and a condiment to be able to cook this card, to cook this sandwich. So let's go ahead and do that, because we actually start the game with 1 meat, 1 condiment, and 1 leafy green vegetable. So we have enough to be able to cook this card. So to be able to get there, I'm going to grab these 2 over here, which is these 2 tokens, a stack of tokens over here, and go 1, 2. And then I landed on the cook space, which is what I wanted to do. And so then I'm going to discard, pay ingredients to play a card from my hand. So I want to discard, or rather pay 1 meat and then 1 condiment. And that allows me to place this card in my play area like this. Now, this card is special because it also has an additional action that's active as long as it's in my play area. It says here, after you feed at least 3 customers with a single feed action, gain either a condiment or a meat or a vegetable. So the more of these cards that you have actively in your play area with these actions, the more kind of benefits you're going to have. So there's several different dimensions of thinking required in this game, which is probably why I'm not very good at it. I'm not very good at these kinds of parallel planning kind of tasks, but we're giving it the old college try here. So we've cooked the roast beef sandwich. It is here in our area, and it says here that because we landed with a blue token, we could do +1 card. We could cook 1 more card. So we just happen to have this fruit salad that requires some vegetables. So we will pay vegetables, and then we will play this fruit salad. So we prepared or cooked this fruit salad as well. No actual cooking there. And then we have 1 card left in our hand, which we'll place off to the side for now. Okay, so that was that action. And we activated those 2 actions, and we were actually able to get these 2 cards into play. So that's kind of cool. We're doing well so far. Let's see how long our luck holds here. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to feed these customers, as you can see here. So we want a token that's going to land, we want to get a stack of tokens that's going to land exactly here on feed, because then you discard played cards to feed customers. And so it looks like this stack of 3 tokens that's on cook right now is going to do it for us, because we can take this stack and go 1, 2, 3, and then land on this feed spot. So let me go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've landed on feed. Now we can discard played cards to feed customers. So I'm going to discard this fruit salad to be able to feed this customer over here, which is great. And then the way that you score cards is that you slot them underneath your player board at the top here. And then basically you have to fill in the slots that have the least number of cards in them. So right now, we put 1 card into here. The more cards you have in columns here, the more each one of those columns is going to score. And it says right here, scoring slots. If you have 1 card in that slot, you'll earn 1 victory point. If you have 2 cards, you'll get 3 victory points, and so on and so forth. So another thing I like is that everything is written right on your player board. So, you know, there's a lot of, I like the clarity. I like the fact that, you know, it's just right there. It's all in front of my face. Okay, we're still feeding here. And we have 1 more card in our play area, this roast beef sandwich, which we can now discard to feed 1 of these customers. So I think I'll feed this customer here, discard this card, and then this customer goes, and I'll just place them underneath here in this stack. All right, so now we have at least 2 victory points, one there and one there. So far, so good. By the way, I also should mention that whatever cards you have at the end of the game that are in your play area will also score the number of points that are indicated in the upper right here. Some of the cards are they're kind of bonus multipliers. So, for example, this barbecue sandwich, if we ended the game with this in our play area, it would give 2 points for each card in your hand. So that's actually kind of cool. But right now this card is in our hand. It's not in our play area. I was just showing you that. Okay, so looks like we have completed that second round basically of the game. So now we want to do is just go back to the first phase, which is check for our hungry customers. Check how many tokens are in this space. Right now we don't have we don't have 5, so we don't have to worry about that right now. So then we want to pick up all the tokens in the space and then do the whole moving around and dropping 1 token in each space until we get to the action space that we want thing that we were doing earlier. So what do we want to do? Because we still have a customer who's hungry and is looking for a sandwich, and we still have a sandwich in our hands, but we don't have any more ingredients. And this particular sandwich requires 2 meat and 1 condiment. So I think what we want to do 2 things right now. We want to increase our ingredients, and the way you do that is by discarding cards from your hand that give ingredients. So, for example, if I discarded this barbecue sandwich, I would get to increase 2 up on the meat track and then 1 up on the condiment track. But the other thing right now I want to do right now, so there's 2 things, right? So one is I want to increase these ingredients, but I also need more cards in my hand. So I need to unload is what I want to do here. Unload is draw a card +1 if used by a green token. So let's take a look here. There's a stack of 3 tokens here on prepare. 1, 2, 3. If I did that, I could actually take the unload action. So I think that's what I want to do right now. I'll go 1, 2, 3. Ending on unload. I'm drawing a card. Sadly, I didn't end with a green token, so I don't get the bonus of +1 card. So I'm drawing a card from here. So now I have 2 cards in my hand, one of which is clam chowder, the other is a barbecue sandwich. Now, this customer is looking for a sandwich. I do have a sandwich, but I don't have enough ingredients to be able to prepare or cook this sandwich. So, and this clam chowder, if I discard this for ingredients, isn't going to give me a whole heck of a lot. So I need more cards, and or I also need to increase my ingredients. So I think, because right now I don't really have anything happening in terms of being able to do another unload and draw a card. Like if I took this cook here, it would only land me on hungry customers. If I took this hungry customers, it would land me 1, 2, 3. It would go and prepare. I think that's what I want to do actually, is I do want to prepare. I want to discard a card from my hand to gain ingredients, because I do want to get these ingredients here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do a prepare action. So to do that, I'm going to go back to this hungry customer spot and go 1, 2, 3. So I land with a green token on prepare. But because there's a special thing here, hungry customers is a special space. As soon as you take tokens away from there, you have to do this action right here, which is written, add 2 customers when you take tokens off this space. So I'm going to add 2 customers to this customer row. Let's see. Somebody who wants a salad and somebody who wants a sandwich. All right. Now that we did that, we can go ahead and do this prepare action. Discard a card from your hand to gain ingredients. So even though this barbecue sandwich is useful to me, it's also useful in terms of all the ingredients it has that I'll gain when I discard it. So I think that's what I want to do. I'll discard this card to increase my meat by 2 and my condiment by 1. So increase meat by 2, condiment by 1. And then I do have some soup here, some chowder, and we do have, well, As it turns out, none of the customers who are currently in our deli are interested in soup. They're interested in sandwiches, and they're interested in salads. So we need more cards in our hand. So now we got to look at our action space here at Rondel and figure out, how can I get more cards in my hand? Because that's this action right here, the unload action, to draw a card. But this token grabbing this is only going to get us that far. This token grabbing this is only going to get us that far. And grabbing this stack over here is only going to get us this far. And none of those things are going to help us. See, so sometimes the thing about this game is you don't really have a lot of good options, because the way that the tokens are stacked and the numbers in each stack doesn't really allow you to get to the action space that you want to be able to do. Like right now, right this second, I really want to get to this unload spot to draw a card. This guy over here has 5 tokens in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could actually do that. I could take this stack here, and this would get me to unload. So I actually have something that I'm able to do here. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll grab this 5 tall stack and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. And I landed on unload with a blue token, so I don't activate that bonus. If I'd landed with a green token, I would have gotten 1+1 card. As it stands now, I'm just drawing 1 card, which is a beef stew, so a soup. Again, this doesn't help us right now, right? Because these 2 things are soups, and none of these customers are looking for soup. They want sandwiches, they want a salad. So looks like we need more cards. We've got a little bit of ingredients here. We need more cards. So fortunately, this stack of 2 tokens over here is going to allow me to go 1, 2 and land here and draw another card. So I'll do that. 1, 2, and draw another card to my hand. Finally, we have a salad, and we have a customer who's looking for a salad. So we need to be able to now, hopefully, discard some ingredients to be able to place a card in, discard a card from your hand. I'm sorry, pay ingredients to play a card from your hand. Now the thing is, we don't have this ingredients. We've only got the 1 condiment, but we have 0 leaves. We have 0 vegetables. So we're not going to be able to cook this card. We can't prepare it. Yeah, we can't discard it to gain ingredients. Yeah, this is not a great combo of cards here, because if I wanted to cook this salad, I need vegetables, and I have 0 vegetables right now, but none of the other cards that are in my hand are going to give me vegetables. So it looks like I'm essentially stuck, and I need to keep going here somehow. I need to get more cards, because again, and you get into these situations where none of your customers are looking for the cards that are in your hand, or the 1 card that is in my hand, I'm not really able to play right now. So this is a problem, and we have to figure out how to solve this problem. We need more cards, but to be able to do the unload action to get more cards, we needed to have none of these stacks are going to help us, because this stack of 2 is only going to get us as far as hungry customers. This stack of 3 is only going to get us as far as hungry customers. So, oh boy. Discard played cards to feed customers. All right. I think what I want to do is this. I'm just going to go 1, 2, okay. And then I'm going to take this stack and go 1, 2, 3. And now it's dangerous because there's 4, darn it, there's 4 tokens in this hungry customers slot right now. So we're playing a dangerous game here, folks. But I really want to be able to do this draw a card action. So now my kind of, I don't know how smart the plan was, but now I've got 2 tokens here in this cook spot. I've got 2 tokens here in this cook spot, which gets me in to go 1, 2, and then now I end on unload. And so now I'll be able to do the draw a card, and I'm hoping to get the right card here. It's another soup, which doesn't help us because none of these customers want soup. They want sandwiches and salads. So we are getting into a string of not great luck here, folks. All right, so we're back. And we are in a string of not great situation here right now, folks, because we have most of the cards that we have in our hands are soups, and sadly, none of our customers are looking for soup. And the one salad that we have in hand, we can't play because we don't have ingredients for it. So, and as we check here for hungry customers, we've got a stack of 5 tokens in this spot. And if there are 5, you must select this space to take tokens from in phase 2. So we have to take this. We are forced to because of the number of tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what this means is, let me set my hand aside for now. We are going to add 2 more customers to our customer row here. And finally, we get at least a customer who's looking for soup. We have so much soup over here. So maybe we'll be able to do something now, but having this many customers isn't ideal. Because if that gets to a 5 again, or we have to like add 2 more customers, that is instant game end for us. So we really need to start feeding customers. So for example, this clam chowder here is actually pretty easy to make, to cook. So we need to get to the cook action here. Sadly, I don't know that, because this is 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not going to land there. This guy is going to get us this far. This guy is going to get us this far. So there's actually no good way for us to get to the cook action, which is kind of annoying. But maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, that doesn't help us. Maybe we can do a prepare. Yeah, we can do a prepare. So we want to play this clam chowder. So maybe what I think I want to do is I'm going to play this Caesar salad. So here's what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to move this guy 1 space to go to the prepare, which will allow me to discard this card. And it was a red token, so I can discard another card, so that's kind of cool. So I'm going to discard this token for its ingredients. So I'm going to gain 2 vegetable and 1 condiment. 1, 2 vegetable, 1 condiment. So now we're growing our list of ingredients here. Because of the prepare bonus here, I have the ability to discard more stuff. So I think I want to discard this beef stew and get us 2 more condiment and 1 steak. 2 more condiment and 1 steak. So now we are looking pretty good in terms of our list of ingredients. The next thing we want to do, the really important thing we want to do, is we want to be able to cook cards from our hand. We're still not able to do it, sadly. This one is going to, if we take this stack, it's going to go 1, 2, 3. If we take this stack, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So none of the 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I think the next useful thing we can do is we'll take this stack of 3 and 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. And at least that'll get us to draw a card. Having cards in our hand is good. It is soup. We've got 1 customer asking for soup. We are still very, very soup heavy in our hand here. There's only 1 customer asking for soup, so we could be in trouble, folks. We could be in trouble here. Now, what's the next thing we want to do is we definitely need to cook, right? So maybe, I don't know, this attack of 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gosh. I mean, let's just try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It gets us back to draw a card. And we get, oh my gosh, even more soup. Wow, okay. So we are getting a string of soup cards that are not helping us. We also want to be able to cook. And so we finally are able to at least cook something, because we got one token here. So we'll move it up, and then it's a blue one. So now we can pay ingredients to play, well, you know, we've got 4 soup cards here. We will pay, well, let's pay one condiment to cook this tomato soup that goes into our play area, and then we could do a +1 here. This one has a, after you take an action, gain blah blah blah, if every action space is a token on it. Or this one is, whenever you play a sandwich or salad, gain condiment. I think I'll just play this soup du jour, which is another 2 condiment. Okay, and so that is that action. I still don't have, I've got 3 here. I need to be able to cook, right? But the thing is, I'm sorry, I've done cook. I need to be able to feed, discard played cards to feed customer. I can do this for 1, and I can feed this customer who's looking for soup. I can discard this card, and then this customer gets fed. So now at least I was able to feed that customer. I have 1 open space here. It's still not a great situation, folks, because if we allow 5 tokens to build up once again in this hungry customer spot, we'll gain 2 customer cards, which would exceed 5. We get to 6, and that would basically end the game for us. So we are still not in a good situation. The other thing that's saying that we're not in a good situation is all we have in hand is soup, and none of our customers are interested in soup. We've got 2 interested in sandwiches, 2 interested in salads. So this is not great. This is not a great situation, folks. Well, okay, so this is the only viable choice here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we'll discard a card from hand to gain ingredients. Discard a card from hand to gain ingredients. Probably discard this tortilla soup to gain 1 condiment and 1 vegetable. So that's cool. I'd really love to be able to draw a card, but what does this one do? 1, 2, 3. That's not going to help us. This is not going to help us. This is not going to help us. Yeah, we've got 4. Oh boy. So 1, 2, 3. This is not. Basically, I think I've lost the game here, folks, because if I move this forward, I can't cook anything. I mean, we've got these 2 cards here. We have the ingredients to be able to cook them, but they're not going to help because they're soup, and none of our customers are looking for soup. Oh boy. If we move this guy forward, we're gonna end up on hungry customers, which takes us to 5, which adds 2 customers, so we lose. And this 1 moves forward, and then we'll get to feed, but there's nobody to. We don't have the right food to feed. So we're basically just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic at this point, I think. Oh boy. I'd really, really love to get more cards, but it doesn't look like I'll be able to grab more cards. Let's just, you know what? Let's just play this out to the bitter end, shall we? So we can go 1, 2, 3, which gets us to hungry customers, which is 5, which means we have to take this action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but add 2 customers when you take tokens off this space, which is 6, which means we lose immediately. And So that's the end of the game. So now we'll go to scoring. I mean, I know it's ugly, but basically the way you score points is you score points for cards in the slot. So I've got 1, 2, 3 victory points here, and then cards that you have in your play area. Did I manage to play both of these? I mean, at this point, let's just pretend we did. So that would be 3 points here. So that's 6 plus 1 is 7. So let's just say that my total here is 7 victory points. Now on the rule book here, it says 0 to 15 points, 1 out of 5 stars, a bad experience, would not visit again. So basically, we lost horribly. The score, slightly better than the first time I played this game. First time I played this game, I got 3 victory points. Now the second time I played this game, I think I got 7 victory points. So that's an improvement. That is more than a 100% improvement from my previous score, but it's still not good, which kind of emphasizes the idea that this is really, really not my kind of game. I am not good at these types of games that require planning several steps ahead to be able to do the actions that you want to do when you want to do them. So for me, playing this game is more an exercise in frustration so far, but I hope that at least this quick demo has given you an idea of how Rondeli plays. And I'll put a link to the work in progress thread in the description of this video below so that you can go and check it out, make your own copy. There's also a tabletop simulator mod so that you could play it virtually if you didn't want to make a physical copy, a physical prototype copy of the game. But that is going to be my quick demo of the game Rondeli. It's a solitaire mancala rondel action optimization or efficiency game, and it is once again, as I said earlier, a entry to the 2023 Solitaire Print and Play Game Design Contest. Until next time, this has been Martin. Thanks for watching.